Hello everybody, Ian Robson here. Welcome back to American Truck Simulator. Today we are taking gas, apparently, from Page, Arizona to Nogales, Arizona. So again, this is the open public beta I am messing around with right now, and you can access that public beta as well if you'd like to by just saying going into Steam and saying opt into betas, basically. So that's how I'm able to access this without being released yet. Okay, so let's get started. It's a bit of a longer journey. It's about 500-600 kilometers. So as you can see, here's our lovely tanker trailer. Looks fantastic. Got the Peterbilt as per usual. And we're going to go ahead and take the parking brake off and then head out here. So this is another little journey checking out Arizona. So far I've been happy with what I've seen. Looks really nice. The road system, the highway system is what I've been most pleased with thus far. Oh, that was a bad gear change. Ah well. Yeah, so that's what I've been happy with the most so far is the highway system's been really nice. It's been really nice to like go in and out of the highways and whatnot, so that's been really sweet. As you can see, I'm able to have some mods installed, which is good, because it means that some of them are ready for the new DLC, essentially. So it'll be curious to see what actually happens here with that, and to see how it plays along. Because sometimes, of course, when you have mods and betas and stuff like that, it doesn't always work so well together. So I'm happy to see that it's working well so far. Apparently, oh, we're gonna have to stop? No. Sweet, I love that. That's gotta be like the worst thing as a trucker, having to stop and going through all the gears all over again. That's gotta be so rotten. That's like a drop-off point there. Interesting. There's been a few like that. I haven't seen any too many crazy ones yet in Arizona, but from what I can see, I've only seen a few cities so far. Whoa, buddy. Give us some space here. I've only seen a few places so far, so we'll see what happens in the future. Maybe we'll find some other difficult ones or something, but alright, no one's there. Good. Take the turn. Look at the balloons up there, that's awesome. Interestingly enough, in Gatineau, Quebec, they actually have a balloon festival, hot air balloon festival, where it looks just like that. It looks, that's funny. Alright, slow right down. Glen Canyon. Is it an all-way stop? No, it's not. I thought it was for a second there. It's definitely not. Probably should have been more careful going through that intersection now that I think about it. And I'm totally going the wrong way. Should have been turning left. Alright, we'll make a little turn here. See some of the sights while we're at it. I love the mountains, or whatever you want to call those. I guess they're mountains, technically. Alright, anybody coming? Yes. They have graciously stopped for us. Thank you. But I fear we may smack them still. It barely grazed it. That's ridiculous. Alright, this time. There we go, jeez. But I do like these mountains. The Grand Canyons, I guess they are, whatever that happens to be. I don't know what you even call them. But the rocks, let's say that. The rock formations look really nice. So far they look really nice. I saw a lot of those when I was in BC, those signs. Jeez. A lot of like 6, 7, 8, 12. We did one 20% downgrade. It was ridiculous. Oh, that one actually was a pretty easy one. It was actually going down to like a beach or something like that, so it was a little short little run. But some of them can get really ridiculous. We saw a couple that were like how would you describe them? Long, winding downturns, which was a little bit scary. There we go. Set it to 105. So I do have the limiter on right now, so I'm only able to cap out at 105, and that's just because I'm not necessarily the best driver out there, so I have to make mistakes. So it's nice to be able to limit the speed and the capacity of the mistake sort of idea, so we'll have to see how it goes. But yeah, I really like some of the rock formations that they put into here are really, really nice. That's what I've noticed so far. Like, some of them just look really, really slick. I like some of the winding roads as well. I did a lot of this when I was in BC. So it's kind of like a nice combination. We actually drove in a couple semi-arid areas, so like desert type areas in BC, which was really crazy. Because yeah, I in my mind, I'm like, you don't think about, what the heck is that? In my mind, you don't think about, you know, Canada desert, but we actually do have a desert air. I think it's like Drumheller in Alberta is a semi-arid area, and Osoyoos is actually a desert in Canada, considered a desert in Canada. It's not like it looks kind of like this actually, what you're seeing right in front of you. Very similar to this, minus the trees. Actually, there weren't any trees, but it was really neat. Some of the scenery was spectacular. You can just sit there and just stare at the mountains for like ever, it seemed like. It was really, really funny. Beautiful place. You know, Canada never ceases to amaze me. Like, it's one of the most, it has to be one of the most beautiful countries that, well, I've only seen Canada, so I can't really compare it to many other countries. I know upstate New York's really nice too, mind you, but it's just beautiful because you have, like, there's so much in it. I guess the United States is very similar because you have, like, this very similar capacity, or say very similar area as Canada. So I'm assuming it's the same way if you go east to west and you have lots of variations in there. And you guys have more desert, obviously, in Arizona. And where would the other place be? New Mexico, Texas, I guess, those types of areas. Whereas in Canada, we only have, I think, the Sonoran Desert, I think it's called. It's like part of a region. It's called the Sonoran Desert region, I think. It's not actually the desert itself. Those speed changes. Every time. They always come so quickly. It's like, oh, by the way, 50 kilometers an hour here. There we go. Yeah, but it was kind of strange when you think about it. I'll probably talk about BC for a while right now. Like, over the course of various videos, I mean, is what I'm referring to. Because it was a great journey. Alright. Funny enough, I didn't see many classic cars there. I thought I would see a lot more, to be honest with you. And that's because out west they don't get the same amount of snow as we do out here. So, wow, they came awfully close. There we go. Yeah, I thought I would see more classic cars out there because the weather is more conducive to having older cars, because they actually don't use salt on the roads either over in BC. So it's more likely you're going to find some nice cars out there without the salt damage and whatnot and the rust damage that we have here. Slowly but surely making our way through the city. It's strange, when we were out in BC we didn't see that many towns like this. Like, we didn't drive through many towns. Like, there's a highway in Ontario where it's like Highway 7, where it goes like, kind of, how do you describe it? It goes from northeast to southwest sort of idea. And there's lots of little towns you go through as you drive on the highway. But I didn't feel the same sort of thing in BC. It seemed like you had highway and then you had the small towns, but you didn't have like the highway going through the towns often, it seemed like. Not in comparison to what I'm used to, at least. Not in comparison to what I'm used to, so. I did see a lot of signs for don't use your engine brakes in residential areas. I saw that a lot, actually. And it made me think of American Truck Simulator a lot. And people telling me, you know, Ian, you're not supposed to use your engine brakes in town. And I'm like, right. Of course, you would get me right there, too. Of course. We'll just put it at 45 kilometers an hour so we don't get a speeding ticket. But seriously. Anyways, yeah, I did see a lot of don't use your engine brakes in residential areas. There was a lot of that. So see how I'm talking about, I talked about this last video where it kind of turns a little bit and camber. I think the word is camber, if memory serves. You can go 121 here and watch it'll change like as soon as you go up to this hill. Anyways. Yeah, but I don't know, they have a lot of trucking out west, it seems like. More so, I guess I was on the highways a lot, so that's why it felt like there was a lot of trucking out there, a lot of logging as well. That's one of the, I guess that's one of the primary exports of British Columbia and Alberta. More British Columbia, I suspect, but I would honestly have to look at that to see if that is one of their primary exports from that province, but a lot of trucking. Lots of various degrees of trucking. So you know how you have like the tandem trailers? There was a lot of those out there in British Columbia as well. And the other thing I saw a lot of was like tandem logging trailers where the second trailer gets pulled up onto the first trailer. It's kind of interesting. Alright, 105, here we go. Yeah, it was kind of interesting. Lots of interesting things to see. One of the fun things about traveling is you get to see some stuff you wouldn't normally see. For example, a lot of logging trailers. Like, you see logging done in Ontario often, but it's like in Northern Ontario, and it's usually someone just has a wood lot for themselves, or they sell the wood, let's say. But that's like not a company that owns it, it's more like just a single person or something. At least that's been my experience. Of course, I don't know everything. It would be cool if I did, but I definitely don't, so. But like in this area, this is all Arizona as well. This is, I guess, mid-Arizona. Looks like there's some trees here. I don't know Arizona very well, so I can't judge as to whether there's supposed to be like these types of trees there or not, but I guess there are. I guess different places in Arizona aren't all desert. So like, whenever I think of Arizona, like based on what I know about it, it's like it's all desert. And there's beacons now, it looks like, on some of the trailers. I don't know if you can see that. Let's see if I can catch up to this guy up here. No, I can't, right? But the guy ahead of me has a beacon on the back of his trailer. See that? And that's something I never noticed before. Maybe they just added it in this update. I don't know, but that's kind of neat. So it gives us hope that maybe trucks can have beacons on them too. I should actually double check that. I'm not sure. They might actually be able to have beacons on them now. That was one of the complaints some people had. It's like, well, I can't put a beacon on my truck. I'm like, what's up with that? Because in like ETS2, you had like people went beacon crazy basically. So I don't know what the deal is there, but I think it may be something to do with the patch, perhaps, or maybe it was always there, just never saw it. But that's kind of something that's kind of hard to miss a little bit. So I'm surprised. All right. See if we can't get there in time. Not get a late fee, that would be nice. Now, does the speed change here? Or are these people just going slow? Even in real driving, people do it all the time. You're like, I set my cruise control to, like whatever it is, 100 to 110, something like that. And then 110 kilometers, by the way, not miles. That would be a little fast. And then just kind of, just cruise. And I just set it so like you go up a hill, you go down a hill, and I just have the cruise control go no matter what sort of idea. And the funny thing is, you see people like slow down all the time, and then you'll pass somebody when you're on cruise control, and then eventually they'll come back and pass you because I guess they got upset or something. That's what I always think. I always think, well, maybe they got upset when you were driving past them, and they're like, well, he's driving like an old man car or something like that sort of thing, like a Buick, like an old Buick is what I'm thinking of, and he passed you, and then they get angry or something, and they want to pass you after that. I don't know. That's what goes through my mind all the time whenever I pass somebody and they decide to pass me later on. No one's coming on the right-hand side, and this is good. No one wants to merge. Apparently you're taking this exit here. There we go. Doesn't say anything about speed changes, so it looks like we can continue on the same speed. This is a really strange kind of interchange. We don't have this style in Canada at all, where it kind of goes off like this. Like, in the 401 in Ontario, if you see something like this, it's usually like a collector lane, they call it, instead of an express lane. But I don't see many of style like this. I tend to see like it goes straight and doesn't go up over a bridge like this. Okay, this would be like definitely a collector lane because you have like lanes going out, lanes coming in. I don't know. Just seems strange to me. that kind of interchange, I guess they call it, or I guess that would be the right word. I don't see many of that. But yeah, this is what Arizona looks like. Let me get out of the truck here for a second. Looks really nice. Good collection of, like I said before, I really like the rock formations. They did a good job with that. It really looks nice, especially when you're driving like in and around the canyon, and you're driving around some of the other areas that have rock in them. That looks really slick. High res, it looks like too, which is really nice to see. Because sometimes you like, maybe not from SCS, but from other, let's say like Farm Sim for example. Sometimes you'll see like really low res mountains in the distance sometimes, but these look pretty good still. Are we taking this exit? No, we're just following the road. What does this sign say? Pit stop will look like? It's funny, the signs are what kind of throw you off a little bit, because when you're looking for the signs, you're like, what does that sign say? Apparently I have just a slightly more powerful truck than that guy. Just a slightly more powerful truck. It'll be curious to see what actually happens with the other trucks in the game, whether or not they add extra trucks or not. So right now I think we only have 3 trucks still. You have the Peterbilt, 389 I think it is. Is it a 389? I can never remember. Which one is this? 579, sorry. Peterbilt 579, then you have a Kenworth, and then 2 Kenworths basically, and that's all it seems to be. We can go take a quick peek. Let's go to Peterbilt, buy online. 579, 579. These ones I can't get yet. Okay. And what about Kenworth? There's the one Kenworth place I found apparently. Buy online. W900. T6, yeah, those are the 2 that they have there. Oh, is that new? T680? I don't remember saying that. W900, T680. Maybe, is that the original one? W900? I don't remember now. Is that the original one? T680? I never drove the, no, I think those are the 2. You can tell I never drove the Kenworth very much, because I'm like, is that a new one? The W900 obviously is probably my favorite looking one out of them, just because it is a bit more of a classic style, with the big air tanks on the side. But I'm still partial to this Peterbilt. I like the way it looks. I like the sleeper cab. This is why I keep using it. Probably not the most interesting truck to use all the time, but I've seen some other trucks, and every time I've tried out a new truck, it always kind of lets me down a little bit because it's not quite as good. I know the Peterbilt 389 from ETS2 has been ported over, and I have checked it out, and it's okay, and they're doing some updates to it still, so it'll be curious to see what actually happens with that when it's finally all said and done. I'll be curious to see. I think it's Solaris, or no, not Solaris, it's Viper, I think it is. Who's the guy who edits that particular truck, and he does like, don't get me wrong, he does a fantastic job. I would not be able to do nearly as good a job as he does. So I have to give him kudos where kudos is due, so to speak, and he definitely needs some for that truck, because that's a nice looking truck. I don't know if he took models from other, like if he asked people's permission for other models and whatnot, or if he did it all from scratch. I'm not sure. In a lot of cases, you wouldn't really need to start a mod from scratch. In a lot of cases, a lot of people, they'll build on like a frame from the in-game. So like this will they take this this truck right here, and then they'll build on it. That's a weird. I have to remember that goes straight through, and the other one's turn, and that's what throws me off, because I'm like, why am I going right to go straight? I don't know. It's just the way Arizona is, I guess. Is it actually like that in Arizona? If you're from Arizona and you know, let me know if that's the way the highways actually are. I can only assume that's the way it is, based on the fact that that SCS built it like this. It's a nice highway though, nice highway system. Kind of reminds me of the Autobahn in Germany in ETS. I think the Autobahn's just a bit bigger though, and straighter, without so many weird turns. Because I think like this is what I'm thinking of. Like that turn, that straight pass through, whatever you want to call it, pass through lane. that we just went through, it seems like that would actually create a problem in the future, because people would want to get in that lane. A lot of people would have to go and move over, but it's only one lane. Like, I'm thinking in like Toronto, where it's like you're going from, you know, 6 lanes. That's what we have a lot of times in some of the bigger places in Toronto. You'll have like 6 lanes, and if we had like, if you were in the leftmost lane, you had to go to the rightmost lane to move, like to go straight. It would just be a gong show. All right, coffee and snack place. Let's take a look around here. Looks pretty nice. It's like some palm trees. Very nice. Should go back in cab to see where I'm actually supposed to go. Looks pretty neat. This is Nogales, I think. Walberts. Whoops. Don't hit things, Ian. That's what happens when I get out of the truck. If I was a professional, I would have cut that out. I never planned it. I never claimed to be a professional. I just like driving in games. Because that's actually in real life. Like for example, when I was driving in BC, you want to look around. You want to see things. You're like, oh, what's that? What's that? Because you've never seen them before. But you have to pay attention not to run into things. And that's a lot more serious in real life, obviously. So, but it's just one of those things. All right, so our turn is right here, actually. I wasn't expecting it to be at a gas station, but I guess that makes perfect sense because it's gas. So normally, I think in real life, where the gas tankers would actually stop would be right here on these little things, right where I'm driving over right now. And they would take a pipe and they would put it into the tanks at the gas stations. I'm not an expert, but as far as I can gather based on what I see, that's what they do. Oh, really? I just missed it. And apparently I just stalled the truck. There we go. Parking brake. Decoupling, lowering trailer legs. Fifth wheel. Nice. Excellent. So 700 kilometers. Not too bad. Got some good experience for that. Excellent. Entrepreneur. Excellent. So there you go, folks. Another episode of American Truck Simulator, checking out Arizona. Once again, this is a public beta, which is the reason why I'm able to check out Arizona. So there's still a few places we haven't seen yet, but so far so good. So if you like this episode, why don't you go ahead and hit that subscribe button for some more American Truck Simulator. My name is Ian Robson once again, and I'll catch you guys later.